Hey guys, it's Aaron. Today I'm going to walk you step by step on how to set up a Google ad for a real estate agent. So Google ads are incredibly important for any real estate business. They differ from Facebook in the fact that people are actually searching up these terms. Rather than being interested in a certain thing, somebody is actually searching homes for sale or home valuation, whatever it is that you're targeting. So I'm going to walk you through step by step how to set up a Google ad specifically for real estate agents. I'm going to give you all the tips that I've learned after running ads for real estate agents for hundreds of them over the past few years. So let's get right into it. The first things first, you obviously want to make an account and jump right into it. You just click new campaign. Today, we are running a traffic ad. What that means is we are going to run an ad from search results in Google, and we are going to send traffic to our real estate website, which I'll walk you through. So we're going to go ahead and click traffic right here in our campaign objective. Moving down, we are going to click continue. And then right here, it's the actual campaign type. So there's a bunch that you can choose from. I recommend, in this instance, search. Search is the bread and butter of Google, and that's what we're going to go with. Display shows a photo. Performance Max shows on a lot of different platforms. Shopping would be good for like an e-commerce store. Video is obviously a YouTube ad. And then demand gen is very similar to all of them. It kind of ties everything together. So moving on. So now we're at bidding. All that bidding does is asking, what do you want to focus on? Do you want to focus on conversions or do you want to focus on clicks? For the majority of the time, you want to be focusing on conversions, right? How many leads can you get and how cheap can you make them? For this instance, I haven't set up conversions. If you want to learn how to set up conversions, everything is in the description below. For now, I'm going to click clicks and click next. So next we are in the campaign settings. So to reach the right people, start by defining key settings for your campaign. The first thing I'm going to do is uncheck both search network and display network. The reason I do that is because I only want our ads showing up in a certain area, and that is at the top of Google search. And if you click either of these, it'll start showing up on third-party websites and stuff like that. I want to focus our budget specifically on Google. So moving on, next is locations. So there's two different things that you can do with your location targeting. One, you can keep it really wide open, or the second one, you can really target. So let's pretend in this instance that I am a Bel Air real estate agent in Los Angeles. So obviously, there are people coming to Bel Air from everywhere throughout the United States and even the world. In this instance, I want to target just people in the United States. If I wanted to, I can also target people just in California. So you really have to think about what you are looking for. If you're looking for people coming overseas or throughout the US, you want to spread that location. If you just want something very targeted, for example, you want to do a targeted ad about targeting people in your specific area, then you want to put in that actual area in the location options. So moving on for languages, obviously I'm just going to choose English because that's the language that I speak. Moving down, I don't want to use any broad match keywords, and we are going to keep going down. Okay, so moving on to keywords and ads. Now this is the most important part of the ad, and this is where you're actually going to target which specific audience you want to target. On the right here, you can see that Google has added Gemini to kind of help you out if you need some assistance coming up with keywords. For this instance, I already have a list of the best keywords that we have used for the past 2 years that have proven to be the most effective. So I'm going to copy and paste all of those into here. Okay, so I've gone ahead and done this. If you guys want help with your keywords, once again, I have a list of all of these that you can just plug and play in the description below. Once I'm done with my keywords, it's going to show me right here on the right how many weekly clicks, the cost per click, and the weekly cost that I am going to spend. So just a bunch of stats on average of what the ad is going to bring in. Obviously, I'm going to change my cost later. Okay, moving on to the ad section. This is obviously a very, very important section. This is where you're gonna fully design your ad. So the first things first is you have to figure out what URL that you're actually gonna send this traffic to. For this instance, what I'm doing is I'm setting up a traffic ad to a home search, targeting buyers in Bel Air. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to my real estate website, which is obviously using Luxury Presence. If you guys want a luxury presence or you're more interested in getting a luxury presence website, comment below and we will hook you up with one. So for this instance, I'm going to find a search ad, right? So right here, I want to send people to a home search with just Bel Air homes. So I'm gonna go to Bel Air Los Angeles in the home search. And as you can see, Bel Air homes are gonna come up. They're not cheap, but people still are buying them. So you can copy this link at the top, and then we're gonna just paste it into our final URL. So what that means is that when somebody searches up Bel Air homes for sale, properties for sale, or any other variation, and they click to our ad, they're gonna go to our home search. And right here, you can see that once they click on a property, they're forced to fill out a lead gen form. They can put in their phone number, they can sign up or continue with Google, Facebook, or their email. What's great about this is that we capture their lead immediately when they get to the website, and then we can go ahead and cold call them, email them, follow up with them, and hopefully convert the lead. So moving on to our display path. So this is pretty much just what your little URL is gonna look like at the top of your ad. Right here, I'm just gonna put Bel Air, no big deal. Okay, so for headlines, this is where you wanna capture attention. And what I like to do and has worked very, very well for us in the past is you wanna mimic a site like Zillow or Realtor.com, okay? So you wanna explain how many listings there are. You wanna explain that you have an updated website that shows the up-to-date MLS listings. And then you obviously want to say something like Bel Air properties for sale, Bel Air homes for sale. So once again, I have a Google sheet with all of these headlines in the description. You can find them all there. I'm just going to copy and paste these in right now. Okay, once I have all of my headlines done, this is obviously a very important thing. So on the right here, there's a little pin, and you can see a preview of the ad on the right. So there's a first position, a second position, and then sometimes there's a third position. All that means is the first phrase, the second phrase, or the third phrase. And what Google will do is it will jumble them up and kind of find the best variation for you. For this instance, I want to make sure that the first line says Bel Air at the start, so people know what they're clicking on. So I can go right here and pin number one, a live MLS search. That's going to be like a second position. As you can see, now it says Bel Air property search, live MLS search. They will stay in those positions. Updated listings 24/7. I'll probably put that in third position, and so on. Fast and free real estate search, active listings. I'll probably put in the third. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for all of them, and I recommend that you do too. We want to curate so that whenever somebody sees this, it captures their attention. Google is already very good at doing this, but just from experience, you want to make sure that the first headline is the one that you want it to be. Okay, moving on. Okay, so moving on to description. So all description is, as you can see right here, these are just the little 2 lines, just has a little bit more information. Once again, everything is in our cheat sheet below. I'm just going to input some right here. Okay, so now we can see a full preview of our ad to the right. Obviously, we want to make sure that this looks good. So it says Bel Air property search, live MLS search, and then you can see your descriptions below. The descriptions are generally longer and just give a little bit more description. So for example, I say live MLS feed updated every 5 minutes with automatic new listing notifications. That is a feature that Luxury Presence has, so obviously I want to put it there. Search all listings, live updates, #1 MLS search. So once again, I'm trying to mirror a similar link to what Zillow, Realtor.com, or Redfin is going to show. Moving down, these are just other things that you can add to your ad that really increase the strength. So if you want to, you can add your business name and logos. I recommend that you do this if you're an agent or even if you're a team. This is not only going to make your ads stand out more, but it's going to build you brand awareness, right? Which is obviously very, very important. And then going to site links. Site links is where you can put other links at the bottom of your ad. So if you have like a join the team page, if you have an about page, if you have a home valuation page, you can create all of these right here, save them, and then put them on your ad. Call outs, I generally don't do. These are just smaller descriptions. And then there's also a bunch of different things. You can add your phone number at the bottom. I recommend that you do this. It's not often that someone will call you straight from these ads, but it does not hurt. You can also put like a lead generation form. For this example, we are not doing any of that, and we are going to move on. So next is the budget. So obviously your budget is incredibly important. As far as experience goes, I recommend that you spend a minimum of $250 per month on Google Ads. If you don't, you're really not going to see any real volume of leads coming in, which is obviously very important. So for this instance, obviously this is a test, but I'm going to put $300. We have teams spending upwards of $5,000 a month. So really you just need to test out what works for you. And then if you find that the cost per acquisition or cost per conversion is lower than how much you're getting per commission, there's no reason you shouldn't be putting a lot of money into this. Moving on. Great. So now we're at the final page. It says your campaign is almost ready to publish. And what Google will do is it will scan your whole ad on this page and find if there's any problems with it, if you've done anything wrong, or anything like that. So obviously my only issue is I haven't put in billing information because this is an example. But right here, you can go ahead and change the campaign name if you want to. I'm going to call this Hat Trick Website Leads. And then you can obviously go down, see that everything is correct, and publish campaign. Obviously I can't run ads, but you're just going to click publish. This is just the start, and this is a very high level version of running your first Google search ad. These are incredibly important for real estate agents to run, to really grow a business, and they can be incredibly impactful. We have closed upwards of $10 million over the past 5 years on Google Ads alone. So as you can imagine, they can be very impactful. But the most important thing that I actually didn't cover in this video is retargeting. Retargeting allows you to retarget the people that came to your website and didn't fill out a lead. Generally, around 90% of people who click from Google to your website and get forced to put in their information won't give it to you on their first try. But if you retarget them on their third or fourth time on your website, you'll actually be able to capture that lead and then hopefully capture a client moving forward. If you guys have any more questions, please let us know in the description, and all of the details for our cheat sheet is also in the description. Thank you so much.